Hey, how it's going, guys? In this video, we are going to look at Mistral AI Agents API. So Mistral, a France-based AI startup, they have launched their AI Agents API. They already had, an OCR API for document or image processing, and they earlier had a chat completions API where we used to, work with models like Mistral Small, Mistral Medium, so on and so forth, right? Now, as we are heading towards an agentic AI era, Mistral has launched API which has inbuilt agentic capabilities, right? They have, features like persistent memory, MCP integration, so on and so forth. And that's what we're going to see in this video. So if you look at here on my screen, I already have built an application, and of course this is going to be open source. You can find out, at least this framework is open source, of course not the models. uh, of course not the APIs, because it's available through APIs, so it's a closed source proprietary agentic models that they have. But these framework, these applications will be available on my GitHub repository. Now you can see we call it Mistral AI Agents Explorer, a comprehensive showcase of Mistral's agents API capabilities. Now, how it works is, of course, we're going to talk about it. They have built-in connectors, so they have different tools that we can use it, like web search and image generation and code executions, like, of course, powered by code interpreter. And of course, the latest kid on the block, guys, MCP. So they have MCP tool integration as well, directly with their agents API, which is fantastic. Persistent memory, if you ask me what is the most important part of building a good agent solution, is of course going to be memory, guys. I think both short-term and long-term memories are like really important. And the day we do it really well, I think we can solve a lot of complex problem what we are currently solving through automations. Now, agent orchestrations, they also have an option to do, you know, uh, dynamic handoffs. They call it handoffs. Like, you can have an orchestration based on your query, not like function tools, but based on your query, the respective agents will get triggered and they will do your task, which can be multi-steps as well. So that's what this provide. You can see we have code interpreter, we have image generation, web search, function calling, agent orchestration. Here we have a bit of information about these APIs. You need Mistral API keys, and I'll show you how you can get the API key. That's the only criteria. So if you look at here on the left-hand side, within API configuration, we have enter your Mistral API key, right? Now to get an API key, you have to go to lay chat or lay platform, whatever. They are like a bit French kind of terminologies, guys. I don't know anything about France, to be honest. But here you can find out in the left-hand side, they have an API keys. You need a experimental subscription. You don't have to pay any money over here. You can use their free versions to kind of work with or build faster prototypes. See, guys, it's really important for you to understand. I'll cover that part. So now here you can get an API keys. If you go to API keys, you can find out I have few API keys using demo and N agents. Uh, you can build agents right here, guys. You can see it says you do not have any agent for now. Create one easily by clicking on create new agents. But hey, look, sometimes you want to work programmatically, right? You want to build a system where you need multiple things. You want to deploy it somewhere, or on your own infrastructure, right, to deal with your own data. You don't want to send your data, to these guys. Anyway, you are sending, if you are using their API, there is no way you are not doing it. But yeah, of course, you can do it programmatically, and of course through their playground or interfaces. So you can create agents over here as well. Now here you get the API key. That's the only thing we need. After that, let's come back, right? And I'll, of course, show you the code and everything. But why I was saying is, hey, look, Mistral is important because it's based out of Europe, right? A lot of regulated companies, like companies which falls under regulated industries, like let's say financial sector, banking, capital markets, healthcare, public sector companies, where they don't want to work with any models which is created or built outside Europe, right? I'm talking about European companies, right? And that's why Mistral kind of got all the credits, and they deserve the credit because they built the entire AI infrastructure for European companies, or globally, I'll say. But if you are somebody who understands the nuances of, like, let's say, uh, companies like SAP and Oracle, right? uh, SAP being an European company, most of the European companies work with SAP. They don't want to work with Oracle, and Oracle is based out of the United States. And that's why the same happens, because everybody wants to work with a sovereign AI model, right? They talk about that models should be AI should be sovereign, where it has to be regional, localized, and so on and so forth. And I think that's a great step. Uh, you know, and I know I really believe that I echo that thought. So enough talk about we talk enough about this localization, or why European companies don't want to work with a lot of companies based out of United States like OpenAI and so on and so forth. So Michelle has done a great job. Right now, let's look at your navigation menu over here in the left hand side. By the way, guys, you can also follow our AI Anytime website. I'll cover that in last, but here you can go to Code Interpreter first. Let's go to Code Interpreter. Now, what does this Code Interpreter does? It's a Code Interpreter agent. It allows you to execute Python code in a secure sandbox environment. So let's say agent is generating it, it will automatically run that for you, and then you can just do a lot of tasks. So capabilities that they provide, they have mathematical calculations, data visualization, scientific computing, so on and so forth. You can either choose a prompt type. You can see we have example prompts, or you can also give a custom prompt. You can see, so if I go with example prompt just to save some time, you can find out it says creating code interpreter agent generating response. Now it's gonna give you a response, this agent, and of course these are agentic. So when you're working with agent, guys, there is a bit of latency when it comes to responses, because they are not a single prompt API call. Like it has some kind of reasoning behind it that they go through, or they invoke some kind of tools if required. Now you can see it says generate the first 20 numbers of Fibonacci sequence and plot them. You got the output. You can see the code execution. Of course, you can copy this response. You can download the response. The moment you click on download, it downloads a TXT file. You can also copy this response, guys, over here. Now, code execution, you can see, of course, it runs this code and it gives you some output. So it has inbuilt, of course, we cannot visualize the thingy that available on Mistral Sandbox, because we are using it here. The output shows only text representation, but you can find it out. It has been successfully ran here within the interpreter, and you can copy this response if you want over here, or you can copy this code if you want. You can see it's copied to clipboard. So it works fantastic, guys. Code interpreter agent, and these are all small components that you are probably building a multi-agentic system, where you need code interpreter, you need web search, you need image generation, so on and so forth. You can do that. Now you also have web search, so it provides different types of web search capabilities, guys. It has standard web search and it has premium web search. When you go to standard web search, you just look at your Brave browser most of the time, because Brave is available to kind of work. So it has Brave browser, and in the premium web search, it also includes news agencies, right? They are working with news agencies that can go and crawl these news sites or RSS feeds and so on and so forth, right? Now, if you look at here, it says web search. Of course, web search is important because you want to fetch the letters of information to cut slash the hallucinations, because LLMs have their cut of knowledge, right? They have been trained till whatever data which has been available in their last training step. So that's really important for you to understand that when should you use web search, when you need up to date information, when you are building some kind of agentic solutions, right? Now here we have choose a prompt type. Let's go with what are the latest development in AI, right? And I just go with some example prompts. You can give custom prompt, figure out. Of course, this code complete project is available for you to try it out, guys. You can see the latest development. It says here are some of the latest development in AI. Wild Fusion framework, fantastic. Gemini 2.5 in Google created havoc, right? But I'm coming for you guys. I'm coming to criticize VO3 in the next video. Watch that. Cloud for models, quantum AI. I love quantum AI. I'm upskilling myself on that regard. AI governance and deployment, fantastic. You can copy response. You can see copy to clipboard. You can again download it. You have downloaded it. You can also find out the sources. So it fetches the sources, and you can see I'm showing the sources in a different accordion. This is an expander. Streamlit provide this expander, right? Now we have the right URL, that from where we have fetched this particular thingy, right? So we have fetched it from here. Of course, I'm not going to do this captcha, whatnot. So you can find out, Google latest news. You can find out this Google News VO3. Really excited to create a video on that and criticize these guys. Uh, and you can find it out over here. So you can clear history as well if you want to clear this and go ahead and ask new questions. We also have custom prompt where you can give quantum computing, premium web search. We can also go in that. Now we have image generation. The good thing about image generation, guys, that You know, if your prompt is not uh, I'll say appropriate or enough. I'll say it's not enough to generate a good quality image. It suggests you a prompt first and then go and create an image. So it gives you a file ID or something, and then you have to get that file ID. Uh, you can see it over here. It says the image generation agent allows you to create diverse and detailed images based on text prompt. And by the way, Mistral is using Black Forest Lab Flux 1.1 Pro Ultra. So this can generate visual content for you. And when I click on generate image, creating image generation, it gives you some ideas, and you can see it over here. It says to generate the image, I will need to refresh the prompt to make it more detailed and engaging. I wanted to show you that it's really important. And now what I want you to do, if you are really somebody who wants to build with me, right, let's go build this. You have to uh, do a pull request on this repository and make sure that you enhance this further, because now you have to make one more API call using this output and get the file ID to show the generated image over here on the interface. So if you want to contribute to this particular project, just do a pull request and let me know how that goes, guys. Now, couple of interesting things about this agent orchestration. I really liked it. Now, if you look at the agent orchestrations, they have handoff execution. Now, handoff is really important. Now, handoff is nothing but just like a delegation. When you're working with multiple agent systems, like when you have worked with Crew AI, they call it delegate, right? They're delegating it to the next agent. Now, let's say you have multi-agentic solution. There's agent one, there is agent two, and agent three. The output of agent 1 becomes the input to the agent 2, and the output of the agent 2 becomes the input to the agent 3, and so on and so forth, right? In the hierarchy that you have, it can be sequential, it can be hierarchical, so on and so forth. Depends on what kind of systems you are building. But if you want to know more about handoffs, go to Mistral documentation. They have a very beautiful. That's why I liked about Mistral. But the report is also really uh, unorthodox. Like they have this colorful research or technical papers that they write. They don't care about how people have been writing research papers with such fonts and sizes and everything. Now, if you look at here, they have a task, and the task has gone to the orchestration. Right, this is the orchestration layer. Now it either answers you directly using a single agent, or it basically hand off the task to other agents, right? And then it keeps going on. You can see it over here. It says diverse task that demand you may want automated. This ability to give agent task or hand over a conversation to other agents is called handoffs. So it has a handoff. Now that handoffs happen. You can go through this code. Of course, I have in my uh, project as well. It took me a bit of time, guys, to build this. Of course, I did a little vibe coding, but I solved a lot of problems. There were like some bugs and all, but yeah. So if you look at here, it has an automatic server side and client side manual. So you can do it either manual, or it can automatically decides which agent to call. This is fantastic, right? Now it has handoffs, and if you look at function calling, you can also do agents with function calling. I think uh that's a bit, how should I say it, a bit old. I will say now people are moving towards MCPs, and of course for all the right reasons. So I'm not gonna go deep into it. You can see it over here. Now it says agent orchestrations allows multiple specialized agents to collaborate on complex, multifaceted problems. Each agent brings their own capabilities and can hand off tasks to other agents as needed. So you can see how it works is your request is sent to a primary agent, and the primary agent may delegate parts of the task, like breaking down the tasks because it's a complex task, let's say, to specialized agents. And each specialized agents perform its parts and return a result. That's how it works. So let's first run this and let's see. I'm just asking a simple question here and doing a financial, because I created a financial agent. You can see it says, what are the current interest rates and how would they affect my investment? And this takes a bit of time. It's not that fast. Okay, investment over the next 5 years. It takes like around 20-30 seconds minimum to give you the output. You can see it over here. What are the current interest rates and how would they affect my investments over the next 5 years? So it says here is the summary of the current interest rates and their potential impact on investment over the next 5 years. Okay, and it has you just one tool that's called web search. So if you're using multiple tools, it will be listed. Now I'll go back to my code. I'll show you the code, how I set up this project and how you can set up this project. Let's come back to my IDE. Okay. I will close everything here, guys, just to show you from how you can set it up. Very simple thing. You just need UV install and Mistral API keys. You can see I have a folder called Mistral Agents app. Now question is that how should I create that, right? So what you have to do, let's say if you are uh, setting up. If you're cloning it from GitHub, it's even more easier. You just have to come and just do UV sync. If you have UV installed, let's say just git clone it, right? Let's say we just do git clone and then my repo, right? And then after that, you just do UV sync. And what it's gonna do, it's gonna create a virtual environment, install everything for you guys, install all the dependencies. And how it's gonna install is, it's because it has a PyProject.2ml. If you look at here, it has a PyProject.2ml, and I haven't installed that way, but I'm showing you that you should do it. And in this requirements, you can find out all the requirements. So these requirements, the moment you do UV sync, it's gonna basically write down everything and install it for you in a virtual environment. And that's all. Just you have to do Streamlit run app.py. So app.py is our main file. So before I show you app.py, let me just show you a few things. You should have an env file where you can have your keys if you want. If you're building it for yourself, we have git ignore Python versions, ignore that. Okay, let's start with what should we start with? Code interpreter, because that's the first thing we had. Now, if you look at here, I'm using Mistral AI, right, in line number 3, and we are using Streamlit. Now we have a code agent from line 11. It's a function. It says create a code interpreter agent using Mistral APIs, and I'm using client module from Mistral that you can see it over here. And we have, this is how you define your like a agent, guys. You have a model. This, we are using a medium model of Mistral. We are giving a name to the agent, and we have given a simple description, instructions, and what tool it can use. You can see it can use code interpreter tools, and what kind of arguments, inference arguments that you want to give. You want to give some higher temperature to make it more creative or random, or different types of things you can give it over here. Now, this is very similar to how Crew AI or any other agentic frameworks, they are like copied and pasted from each other. Okay, give credit to LangChain, guys. We have to give credit to LangChain and Llama Index, because like on Haystack, because those were the guys who built it first. Okay, and after that we saw Crew AI, we saw Agno, Pydantic AI, Google, Agent SDK. They're copy of each other, to be honest. Just building high level abstract classes. I'm not criticizing anyone, but that's the truth. Okay, now if you scroll down, you can find it out. We are displaying the code interpreter page. You can see a function. Of course, this is the Streamlit thingy, so you can probably just go through it later. We have some example prompts, which is basically being decided dynamically. We have some radio buttons and stuff, and these are more Streamlit thing. So I'm just going down, and you can go through this code later. Alex, is not really important. And we are managing some session state and all, just to make sure that page is not getting refreshed when you click a button, right? I have been using Streamlit since it was launched the first month, so I'm an old Streamlit user. So earlier, what used to happen is that it used to refresh the page due to nested loops and all those loops that we used to trigger, or the buttons that we used to call. So this is code interpreter. Next, we have your image generation thingy. Very similar. You can see the same way we define a create image agent. We give all of these things, display image generation thingy, blah blah blah. And here I need your help. If you want to, so I don't have such time kind to dedicate in this project, but if you want to learn and want to do something, just do a pull request, and we're gonna just implement this image generation part. Now, same goes with, guys, your web search. If you go to web search, you can see we are using tool type web search premium or web search, and these have been taken through their documentation, guys, because I have to be careful that how the naming convention have been defined in their API documentation, and that's how I've created it. So the same thing, we have create and then display. For everything, we have create and display, and then we have function calls. Then we have, let me go to agent orchestration, because that is important. Let me show you agent orchestration. So you can see we have orchestration agents, created this finance agent. We have main finance agent, and now this finance agent can hand over or hand off, to other specialized agents. You can see this is specialized in financial analysis. Then we have web search, which is for retrieving, latest information related to financial services or something. We have a calculator, we have a graph, for plotting the agent, and then we hand off this, web search, calculator, graph agent. You can see it over here. We are updating it, that, and then we for finance, for web, for calculator, and then we return this, and then we display. Pretty simple, nice and clean code, guys. You will love this code, very clean. uh, of course, I used some vibe coding thing, but then I also fixed it because there were some errors. Now this is how you can create it. Very simple. Let's go back on our thingy. I really like this. Beautiful, right? Go to home. Welcome to Mr. AI Agents Explorer. Now, if you have any question, thoughts, or feedbacks, if you're getting stuck somewhere about this project, you can, of course, comment it down. You can also reach out to me through my social media channel. Find those information on channel banner and channel about us. You can also join our WhatsApp and Discord community. We're really growing fast. We do research work, we provide internship, we provide job opportunity, we provide freelancing. And we're doing a lot of things, guys. If you want to know more, please visit our aianytime.net, which is our official website, where we have been doing a lot of stuffs on community driven. It's completely community driven initiatives. If you go, you can find out a lot of things. We have knowledge centers. What is the ongoing project? We have research work. You can see the research work over here. The research work that we are doing. So you can again have a look at whatever progress that we are making. Our open research work and everything, our careers, open positions, so on and so forth. So if you're interested, feel free to check aianytime.net. I'll give the link in description. Clone this repository and let me know what you are building on top of this. If you are building anything, just let's do a pull request and see how we can enhance this and make it, a bit, make it a bit better, I'll say. I hope you like the video, guys. If you like the video, please hit the like icon. If you haven't subscribed the channel yet, please subscribe the channel because that motivates me to create more such videos in near future. That's all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.